Hello, and welcome to this month's Safety Minute. For this month's Safety Minute, I want to talk about the mental health journey that people tend to go through when bad things happen to them. And it doesn't matter what the thing is. It can be an injury that changes your life. It can be the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job. It doesn't matter what the instant is. The moment it affects your life in a way you did not want it to happen, that is when that mental health journey starts. And the interesting thing is what causes the instance in your life that you didn't like, you didn't want to happen, that is always unique. But the journey after your life changes in a way you did not want it to change, that's what remains similar. And what ends up happening is when your life changes really fast, we go through this process where we start to evaluate how our life has changed. And a lot of people will gravitate to the why me part of life. They want to look for answers, and they do it by feeling sad and sorry for themselves. And they do it with why me. But the issue with that is why me, those kind of feeling sorry for yourself feelings, they're like anchors that hold you to that moment in time. As we really reevaluate everything that happened, we get held to that moment in time. And that anchor, that why me, constantly draws us back to it. And it becomes very hard for us to move forward. The issue, though, is you're going to go through this process of mental health. And the way I look at it is that it's like filling up a balloon full of energy. And if you fill up a balloon full of air, eventually it gets to a point where it's going to pop because it can only hold so much air. Well, the same thing happens to us when we're going through that journey when life gets hard. Is we're consuming all this energy, trying to figure out what happened and put our lives back together. And we're filling up this balloon full and more full of energy until eventually it pops. And when those balloons pop, that's when people dump their emotions. And most people are not trained to be able to dump their emotions in very healthy ways. In fact, we're very reactionary with it. And when those emotions dump, when that balloon pops, the people in the room that get to see those explosions are our loved ones. They're our friends, our family, our caregivers, our spouses, our children. And when those emotions explode, we tend to say and do things we did not mean to say. But that dumping of emotions is a natural process. It has to happen. If you kept on filling the balloon more and more, it would be even more of an explosion later on. Unfortunately, though, when we explode, we tend to hurt the people we love. And then our caregivers, our loved ones, our spouses, our children, our friends, they get to this point where we've exploded on them so many times that they're like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't ask to be dumped on day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year for something that happened to you that now affects both of our lives. And I'm doing my best I can to support you through this. And if you don't want it, fine, I'm gone. And eventually, we end up pushing people out of our lives. People we love, we never meant to hurt. People that were doing the best they could to support us. What I have found is that life does get hard from time to time. You can't avoid it. And when you put those emotions into the balloon, we have to find better, more positive ways to release them. So for me personally, when life gets hard, I like to get physical. I go work out, I go for long walks, I go and work on projects that take manual labor. And I have found that exerting myself in those ways gives my mind the ability to work through things. But it also lets that negative energy be dumped out onto things that I can't hurt, like dumbbells and landscaping. Things that don't have feelings. And that way then I don't dump it on people I love. Whenever my life gets hard, I don't ask why me anymore. Believe me, I've asked that question far too many times. And the answer I found to why things happen to people is it's a sign of life. I don't know a single person in this world that's never had a day they wished it didn't happen. that's never gone through hardship. It's just a part of life, having bad days. So when I have those bad days, I no longer ask why me. I've created a new question. And that question is, what can I do for me? See, I found I no longer get anchored to the past with that why me. Instead, I pick that anchor up and I move forward with what can I do for me? How can I learn from this? How can I make it better? What can I do right now that will improve my life? Instead of sitting back, being anchored to something I can no longer change. It's in the past. I can only make it better from this point forward. I hope you enjoyed this month's Safety Minute. If you want more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to bring me out to your workplace so I can share my messages with your people, go to spencerspeaks.ca. And until the next Safety Minute, stay safe.